evening. It's the rearranged Premiership encounter at the Global Energy Stadium. Ross County against St Mirren, live here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with Billy Dodds and Ian Auld.
Everybody at Ross County Football Club.
Thank you, Richard. From Rome to Dingwall is a sentence you don't hear very often, but a very good evening from the Highlands. Both sides are out on the pitch, and there's a minute's silence for former Ross County player Tommy Tucker. And referee Willie Collum has called the teams into the middle, and we will now observe the minute silence. Storm Babbitt called this one off back in October. We're all set to go again at the end of November. Ross County, the home side, without a win in 10 games in all competitions. Their last win was back at the start of September when they were 1-0 winners away to Kilmarnock. St Mirren riding high, third in the table. They've got eyes on second place Rangers. A win this evening for Stephen Robinson's men can see them go 3 points behind second place Rangers, ahead of a trip to Ibrox on Sunday, and of course maintain that gap over fourth place Hearts. It's Ross County who will get us underway this evening. Jordan White, the only change from the goalless draw at the weekend, does the honours, and Ross County will go right to left in the first 45, all in navy blue with the white collar. Shooting towards the Highland Football Academy end, and it's St Mirren in their black and white striped shirts going from left to right towards the jail end. Ross County in possession early on with Jan Danda skipping towards the byline, and he's won a corner inside the opening 25 seconds. Billy Dodds is alongside me this evening, and Billy, it's cold and frosty in the Highlands, but we're hoping for plenty of drama and action to heat us up.
Well, if it continues like that, Ian, it's certainly going to heat up, that's for sure. It was a good start. It was Puddington into Murray, laid off to Danda, and they have to clear it at the front post. St Mirren, it could have been one down right away.
James Brown will take this corner down the near side. Swung in deep towards the 6-yard box. It's punched away by Zach Hemming. Kept a clean sheet at the weekend, and he's taken a sore one in the process as he came to gather. Willie Collum has stopped proceedings, and it's a thumbs up from the goalkeeper. Throw in meantime to the home side, down this near side, just in front of us in our commentary position at the back of the main stand at the Global Energy Stadium. It's Ben Purrington with the ball into the feet of Scott Allardyce. Now Purrington once more, stopped in his tracks by former Ross County captain Marcus Fraser, only as far as Nightingale on halfway, and Jan Danda tries the first time ball over the head of Jordan White. Allardyce wins possession back for the Staggies, onto Jan Danda. He's a hive of activity inside the opening minute and a half. Here's Simon Murray, talking of energy. Here's Simon Murray, he's got plenty of it. Purrington rolls the ball back to Allardyce. Now Danda picks up 18 yards from the St Mirren goal, into the 18-yard box for Murray. Can't quite get any joy out of Marcus Fraser. He turns and hooks the ball out of play, and Billy gets a very lively start from the home side.
Certainly is. They're just pinning St Mirren back, and St Mirren just need to get a grip of the ball, make a few passes, maybe just kill the game, because County look right up for it. They look energetic, whether it's off the ball pressing or when they're in possession, because it's just pass after pass that's cutting open St Mirren so far.
Marcus Fraser once again in the heart of the action. It was a blast forward over the head of Ross County captain Jack Baldwin, who rolls the ball back to his goalkeeper. Now Ryan Leake takes aim and launches a ball down this left-hand side. Touched out of play once again by Marcus Fraser, and Simon Murray wins the throw-in. Derek Adams wants his side to play on the front foot, and inside 2.5 minutes they've certainly done just that. The home side looking to end a run of 9 Premiership games without a victory. Murray with the throw, hooked away by Kelty on the edge of his box, and Alex Grieve will give chase here as Jack Baldwin makes a mess of the clearance. And he recovers at his own corner flag way over on the far side. St Mirren have it back in possession with Charles Dunn just inside the Ross County half. He slips on the surface as he launches the ball into the Ross County box, and it's cleared away by the Welshman Ryan Leake. Here's a misplaced pass from Fraser. Now Jordan White, 18 yards out, fires straight down the chest of Zach Hemming. But I've seen plenty of signs of encouragement in the opening stages from this one, Billy, as Alex Grieve picks up on the far side, skips towards the edge of the 18-yard box. He's got support coming, in comes across, and Mikael Mandron 6 yards out. Well, we wanted plenty of action, Billy, and we've got just that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you stay with it, Ian, because I mean it went end to end, didn't it? And it was, I think it was Mirren with the short pass back, and Murray was on, White was on to it. He cuts inside, that's a strike. They clear it straight away. St Mirren and Grieve has a 1-on-1, and you're thinking, yeah, they might get a bit of joy here, and then it came to Kelty.
Here's Allardyce, 18 yards out. That one could have gone anywhere. It struck a black and white jersey, and it's gone behind for the corner.
Well, I hope it continues like this. Let's be honest. I mean, you can't even get the words in, because St Mirren from the attack, the cross ball, and it was cut out. The Ross County got the park, and it's direct again. They've been doing that a lot under Malcolm Mackay. Not so much under Derek in the first couple of games, but it goes up front, comes back to Allardyce, hits the strike. You think it's on target, blocked for the corner.
James Brown with it. He'll take right-footed, one arm in the air, floats the ball in again to the 6-yard box. Zach Hemming punches the ball clear. Purrington flicked on by Leake, no takers in navy blue, and it trickles behind for a goal kick, and that's probably the first time inside the opening 5 minutes we've had a chance to draw breath. It's been end to end in Dingwall.
Well, we're glad of it, but I think St Mirren will be as well. Although they've had a couple of small opportunities on the break, it's been Ross County pushing so far, looking the most creative, and even something silly like that, the ball just getting flicked out of play, it just gives St Mirren a chance to just kill it, let Zach Hemming take his time and just get a breath and bed himself into this game.
Hemming will take, all in the green goalkeeping kit this evening for St Mirren. This is the 50th meeting as well of the two clubs. First met back in 2000. St Mirren with 24 wins in this fixture to Ross County's 14. 11 have ended in draws. It's their first meeting of the season. Storm Babbitt called this one off in October. We've waited a while for this one, and so far the signs are promising it's worth waiting for.
I think both sides realise, a bit like the weekend game was at Aberdeen and Rangers, contrasting stories. It's the same here tonight. St Mirren up the top end of the table. Ross County, what a win would do for them down the bottom, just to jump a couple of places and make sure it looks really good for Derek Adams if he could take 4 points from his first 2 games, and we just really bed him into the club again. Not that he needs it, but it'd be a good start to have for any new manager. But it's an interesting game, and it's played so far at a frantic pace.
Mark O'Hara rolls the ball back to his goalkeeper. He takes aim and fires the ball forward. Alex Grieve has picked up the scraps on the edge of the Ross County 18-yard box. Now on the far side is Tanzer. Gets the cross in all the way towards the back post. McMenamin was lurking, so too Mandron, and it trickles behind for a Ross County goal kick. Derek Adams, of course, announced Ross County manager last week. Took charge of the club, made his 3rd managerial debut at the weekend, and the goalless draw with Kilmarnock. And it's the battle of the former Morecambe managers in the dugout. Derek Adams replaced Stephen Robinson at the English League 2 club. As Ross County come again through Purrington, with his ball on the halfway line all the way through to Zach Hemming.
I talked about what it would mean for Ross County, but for St Mirren as well. I mean, if they could win this one, get to 25 points in 14 games, I mean, it's some return for them this early in the season. I mean, pushing up there, they'll be tucked in 3 points behind Rangers. That is no mean feat.
and heading to Ibrox on Sunday as well. Stephen Robinson wasn't keen on dwelling on that fact. Of course, he has a game in hand this evening to take care of first, but a win this evening would set them up very nicely away to Rangers on Sunday. As Mandron caught out on the halfway line, Jan Danda dancing and skipping forward into the 18-yard box, trying to get the ball onto his left foot. In goes Alex Gogic, and he timed his tackle to perfection, and it's gone behind for a Ross County corner, number 3 of the evening. 8.5 minutes gone here on BBC Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Ross County 0, St Mirren 0.
He looks quick, sharp, direct, Danda. Not seen him too much like that. Sometimes plays wide and just gets half a yard, puts the ball in, but when he nicks it past Marcus Fraser, he actually made the space. I think he took one touch too many, and that enabled Gogic to go back. Brilliant tackle, but should have got the shot away, Danda.
Allardyce rolls it into Randall, who pinpoints across into the box. It might come for Murray in the 6-yard box. St Mirren eventually get their lines cleared. The visiting defence under a lot of pressure inside the opening 9 minutes. Alex Grieve picks up just inside the Ross County half, down this near side, the St Mirren right. He's got Mikael Mandron for company, and Willie Collum gets involved for the first time this evening. It's a free kick the way of St Mirren.
Grieve's done well with, you know, limited supply there, because he's chased a couple of balls and he's got them. I think he's playing tonight because of that pace. The back 3 of County aren't the quickest, and he looks as if he can get in behind him. He looks as if he can cause them trouble, and even that situation there, just to get him a free kick, just maybe 15 yards into the County half, just to buy a bit of breathing space for them again, because County have been excellent so far in this match.
Conor McMenamin is over this one, down the St Mirren right, midway through the Ross County half. It's an in-swinger all the way in towards the 6-yard box, and it was Scott Allardyce who heads the ball behind, and there's a knock to James Brown inside the penalty box, and the Ross County fullback just feeling the full effects of that ball into the box as Ross County look to defend it. He's not moving all that well, but he's eventually skipped back into position, and meantime it's a throw in down the near side. Alex Gogic takes for the visitors and towards Bacchus. Gogic flights the ball in. Jordan White's on the edge of his own 18-yard box and slices the ball clear. Charles Dunn gets the better of Simon Murray. Now on the far side is Tanzer. It's a long looping ball into the edge of the 6-yard box, cleared by Parrington. Now Jan Danda can get going. He's got his skates on as he glides forward. He's got Gogic for company. And the Cyprus international gets the better of Danda, but County have it back with Allardyce. Switches the play and brings Will Nightingale into the action on the far side, the Ross County right. Laid away on the edge of the box by Dunn, and eventually goes behind for the goal kick. Let's now get the thoughts of former St Mirren striker Stephen Thompson. Stephen, the opening 11 minutes, what have you made from the visitors especially?
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. Evening Ian, evening Billy. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously County haven't scored in their last 3 home games. It's clear that Derek Adams has said to them he wants them to have a quick start, get after St Mirren. It's been a very assertive, very aggressive start from the home side. Clearly they need points. They're at the bottom of the division, and as Derek Adams has said, he wants to score goals, he wants to entertain, he wants to get his team playing in the front foot. They've certainly done that. St Mirren are picking up scraps and had a couple of half chances of their own, but so far I would say County are dominated the early proceedings. But it's a better game than I was expecting, to be honest, so far.
Me too, Stephen.
Let's hope it remains that way, Billy.
A much better game than certainly the second half of Ross County Kilmarnock on Saturday. That one a bit scrappy, but so far in the opening 12 minutes this one has been lively and entertaining as Bacchus, back from suspension, strokes the ball down the St Mirren right, but it's Scott Allardyce who's impressed in recent weeks since coming into and becoming part of this Ross County side, a man that you worked very closely with over the last couple of years at Cali Thistle. He's a player that has made the transition from Championship to Premiership look easy.
And it doesn't surprise me, and he's picked up an injury that kept him out for about 4 or 5 weeks as well. So he's a good player. He's just calm on the ball, keeps possession, doesn't do anything fancy. Could get forward more, maybe a few more goals, but a lot of time for big Scott Allardyce, and he really has adjusted to Premier League football. No problem at all.
Allardyce in possession now. Jan Danda once again looking to run at this St Mirren back line. It's Purrington with the ball into the box, and it's cleared by the Australian international Keanu Bacchus. Ryan Leake unable to keep the ball in play just in front of us, and it's gone for a St Mirren throw-in. Stephen Robinson and Dermot O'Carroll. Dermot O'Carroll actually spent some time here at Ross County. Was a teammate of Derek Adams back in the 2006-07 season. Not a season that Ross County fans will look back on with much joy. They were beaten on the final day of the season. O'Carroll scored actually in that game as Ross County were relegated, and Gretna celebrated their promotion here in Dingwall to the top flight. Change days, of course.
Sorry, Ian, one thing I've picked up on though is, I mean, it's 2-3-5-2 matchups, so, but St Mirren have to be careful, because when they're on the attack, Danda just peels into areas. He's just in front of the midfield too, so it's maybe got to be Bacchus or O'Hara just realises when they're on the attack where he's drifting into, because that's what's happened. St Mirren have been attacking a couple of times, ball's just been cleared, and he's picked the ball up and driven at them, and he's causing them a few problems.
Gogic with the looping ball, met on the edge of the 18 by Ryan Leake as Bacchus picks up possession. Ross County have a man down. Jordan White now getting back to his feet, although he is rubbing the shoulder as Bacchus strokes the ball out to Tanzer on the far side. Charles Dunn has joined him for company as the ball is whipped into the box. Mandra on the target. Ross County clear.
Yep. You just see the space. St Mirren are on the attack. He's just drifted to St Mirren's right. He picks up the ball, he's at them again. They've got to be careful. Just the worst thing you can do is when you're attacking is everybody, your own team, just watches the ball and doesn't realise where the attacking players are at times.
Well, Jan Danda just seems to have a licence to roam and thrill, hopefully, for the Ross County supporters. 15 minutes gone here in Dingwall. It's goalless between Ross County and St Mirren. On Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland, online and on BBC Sounds this evening.
St Mirren have settled now. There's no doubt. The first 5-10 minutes was like, oh, I mean, out the traps for County, and you're thinking, oh, they could notch a lead here if St Mirren are not careful, but they've settled, and you can see they're starting to get a bit of the ball and get into areas. Just got to be careful of Danda, as I said a few moments ago, and we'll be looking at it, because it's either Bacchus or O'Hara has to realise when they're on the attack, look, where is he, just in case he picks up and gets at us.
Well, Ross County haven't scored for the calendar month of November. Ross County fans will be hoping that there is a goal of the month competition for November, with some goals this evening as O'Hara strokes the ball forward looking for Alex Grieve. Eventually cleared by captain Jack Baldwin, who took a touch. He was knocked in the process by Grieve, and he's gone to ground right at the touchline, and Willie Collum has awarded the free kick with the help of his assistant referee down this near side, the way of the home side. Baldwin's back on his feet, and he's okay to continue. It'll be Ross Laidlaw, he'll take this one. He's impressed in the last couple of weeks as well, with a cracking save in the first half against Kilmarnock at the weekend. From this angle, I thought Danny Armstrong had opened the scoring for Killie, and he was man of the match in the 3-0 defeat to Celtic at the start of November, as Purrington just flicks the ball down this Ross County left-hand side. Up goes Marcus Fraser to head clear, and it's a throw-in just in front of our commentary position main stand side, as Purrington launches a throw-in and wins another deep inside the St Mirren half, in line with the 6-yard line. Simon Murray wanted to take it quickly. Purrington says no. It's a chance here for Ross County to launch this one into the box. No one's come short for the throw-in taker, so that may suggest, in fact, Simon Murray has now indeed come short, and it's eventually cleared by Fraser. Baldwin launches a ball into the 18-yard box. Jordan White was trying to angle his body to take possession of that ball, but no joy.
Dunn did enough. I mean, it's just helped on by Baldwin. It's hopeful more than anything. He'll need a bit more quality than that. I was worried about that long throw. I'm thinking the same as you. Nobody coming short. If he's not got a long throw, we're in trouble here. It'll be stalemate.
Hemming with the restart. The on loan Middlesbrough man has been very impressive for the Saints this season. And he's got the ball again as he launches it high up into the cold Dingwall air. And it's Tanser in possession on the halfway line for the visitors over on the far side, the east stand side here at the Global Energy Stadium. And eventually the ball trickles behind with 18 minutes on the clock for a Ross County goal kick.
Since Big Tomo said it was a good game about a couple of minutes ago, it's been a wee bit dire since, hasn't it?
A jinx.
Aye.
Incidentally, Stephen Thompson is the top scorer in this fixture as well. 6 goals to his name. Scored a double in the highest ever scoring game, 5-4. St Mirren winners in Paisley. We wish for 9 goals this evening. As Randall tries to cross over on the far side, it's deflected behind for a throw-in in front of the travelling St Mirren fans away over on the far side. A hardy band as well. They've travelled well in number despite the yellow weather warning on the way home as well for snow and ice. Fair play to them.
I've got to applaud them. And as you say, good numbers. Must be what, maybe 150 of them over there.
As they watch on as Yandanda heads towards the corner flag and wins a throw-in for Ross County. And every time St Mirren have tried to come up here this season, or indeed are here, there seems to be a yellow weather warning in place. It was rain back in October. It's snow and ice predicted over the evening and indeed tomorrow. But up here in the Highlands, we're used to it really, aren't we?
We are, and listen, this is a beautiful night for football. No wind. Yeah, it's a bit cold, but players will not feel that. Pitch is perfect. Although it's tailed off in the last few minutes, it's been played at some pace, I'll tell you. So just look for that little bit of quality now in the last 5 minutes or so.
Here's Dandup, tries a neat wee flick over the head. Gogic is set to tidy up, but Simon Murray stole possession back from him. And a nice wee turn on the edge of the box. He looks for a foul from Willie Collum. And eventually St Mirren clear the lines. It's Leak all the way back to Ross Laidlaw. All in red this evening. And now Baldwin can only head straight to the feet to Alex Grieve. 35 yards from goal. Tries the through ball. First time for Mandron. Baldwin recovers. And now Ross County have possession with James Brown on the far side. Simon Murray. Now Yandanda trying to jink away from his marker. Greg Kilty, he's done well there over on the Ross County right. He really has drifted from side to side and found pockets of space all over the pitch. Yandanda, as Murray does well as he slides to the ground and plays the ball out towards Brown. Away by Gold. Ross County have possession once again with Connor Randall. Back to Danda. Little flick of the feet and finds Murray. But St Mirren have it back and they have a throw-in the far side. St Mirren seem a bit panicked whenever Yandanda's on the ball.
And County, even with the long clearance again, and Baldwin panic, knocked it down to Grieve. It just needs that. We're using the word quality, but that's all I needed. Grieve and Mandron, if he just hit the right pass, there's a real opportunity for St Mirren, and he just hit it straight back to Baldwin. And then Danda's the one. He's the one that is comfortable on the ball, technical, just takes it and outside of the boot passes, give and goes, and that's what we're looking for. The ball is roasting just now. It's like a real hot potato. We just, every player apart from Danda, maybe just getting it and getting rid of it.
Here's Grieve, does well to chest the ball down. He's got support on the far side through Scott Tanser, and he's stopped in his tracks. In fact, the foul has gone against him. It's gone for a throw-in over on the far side. Yeah, it just seems a wee bit rushed at the moment from for the visitors at least.
Yes, look, don't make a mistake. Let's just play safe, and we're in their defensive third. And listen, I'm all for that, and you get it cleared. But sometimes if you've got that time and you make a quick pass, that composure will set up a midfielder to get his head up to go and make a pass. It might create something, but it's not happening so far. When you get at the back, it's stumped forward from both teams.
Simon Murray. And Jordan White over on the Ross County right on the halfway line, unable to bring the ball down. Jan Danda does so. And here's Parrington, who's under pressure from McMenamin as he eventually flicks the ball forward. It's Mark O'Hara who heads on the halfway line. Ryan Leake has, he's rubbing the head. He's taken a sore one. And Willie Collum just across to make sure he's okay. As
Sorry, and he was in the back of Mandro, and they both making a genuine attempt for the ball, just headed right into him, and picked up a sore one, but got himself back up. Big tough lad, and just shook the head and got on with it.
Yeah, Alex Gogic has also come across as well. He's got blood dripping from the nose, but he's patched up and ready to go once again. It's been frantic, but it's also been full-blooded as well from both teams, as Jordan White wins a header and falls to the surface in the process. Parrington unable to get the better of Mark O'Hara, who dances away from Danda. Now midway through their own half is Keanu Bacchus. Bacchus gets it once again from Kelty. It's out to the far side to Scott Tanzer. Back inside to Bacchus as he goes back the way to Dunn, and that kick of the ground from Stephen Robinson just told you all you need to know about that pass from Bacchus. He was frustrated it didn't go forward.
I noticed it myself, I did, Ian. He wanted Bacchus to touch and play forward, but it just put it back to Charles Dunn. It's something that Charles Dunn, what could he do that Bacchus couldn't, and he just thumped it forward and yet again gave the ball away. But directness sometimes for St Mirren is paying off. I mean, they've thumped it forward there, and there's a little bit of panic again this time from Nightingale, just knocks it, and St Mirren get the corner.
Yep, St Mirren with their first corner of the evening. 24.5 minutes on the clock. And a chance here to get the likes of Alex Gogic involved. Charles Dunn isn't involved. In fact, he's making his way back towards the halfway line. Ross County have everyone back inside their 18-yard box looking to defend this. Keanu Bacchus takes up a position on the edge of the 18-yard box. In fact, Alex Gogic, who would love to be involved in the set play, is being sent across to the dugouts. He's got tissue wrapped around the nose, but there's still blood oozing from it, and Willie Collum has sent him over for some attention from the St Mirren medical team. In fact, there's a new jersey being prepared for him as well, but St Mirren will take the corner in his absence. A real miss having Gogic in there. In it comes towards the penalty spot, flicked down and eventually cleared away to safety by Ben Parrington. And in fact, Willie Collum is blown for a free kick, and there seems to be there's medical scissors being applied to Alex Gogic as the St Mirren medical team frantically try to repair him. He looks like he's taken a bit of a nasty one.
Yep, streaming with blood, and they're finding it difficult to stop it, so he's off the pitch. I wasn't sure about the St Mirren corner, I mean, they all started, 4 of them. I know Gogic is out, would have been 5 at the edge of the box, but even the delivery landed outswinger 16 yards to get in and on it, which they did, and they just gave it back to a county player. They were struggling to score from there.
Jan Danda flicks the ball back to the halfway line to find Ryan Leake, forces the ball forward to Jordan White. Jan Danda picks up again, 35 yards from the St Mirren goal, flights the ball out towards James Brown, who slips on the surface but still in possession, rolls the ball back and it's forced into the box. Up goes Jordan White, punched away by Hemming. The ball is still alive, and there was a shout for perhaps I think it was a handball shout. Yeah.
He headed it off his own player and it just clipped him, and I was thinking the same. They want a penalty now. I saw it was a Ross County player that come off, but I think it come off Randall, hit his hand, or Murray. It was maybe Randall headed it, but it was a Ross County player that handled it, wasn't a St Mirren player.
Free kick the way of the visitors, and Alex Gogic is patched up and ready for action once again, as Zach Hemming will take this free kick right on the edge of his 18-yard box. 27 minutes on the clock. Ross County 0, St Mirren 0 here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra, online and on BBC Sounds this evening. Throw into County as Jack Baldwin didn't expect it to come his way and rather hurriedly knocks the ball out of play for a throw in once again on the far side, but it goes against him this time, and it's Charles Dunn over it as he creeps his way into the Ross County half.
There's a balance between safe and rushed, isn't there? I mean, Baldwin. I think because he's a couple of headers and taking them early, he's just getting rid of everything.
Tanser whips the ball in. Mark O'Hara has it 20 yards from the Ross County goal. He's joined by Bacchus, back out towards O'Hara. He's got support with him in the form of Conor McMenamin. Deep inside the Ross County half, O'Hara takes it towards the byline, whips in the cross, and it's held easily by Ross Laidlaw. Well, that's again probably the best chance that Mirren have had down this right hand side. They're starting to open up Ross County, but again that ball, you mentioned it earlier on, Billy, lacked quality.
Yeah, it took a deflection off Allardyce as well, and I thought it might have enabled a St Mirren player to run across the goalkeeper, but the three players that were in there stayed out, never getting there, straight into Laidlaw's arms.
Tanser once again flashes in the cross. It's come off James Brown and it goes behind for the corner. St Mirren's second. This time Alex Gogic makes his way forward. He watched on from the sidelines the last corner as St Mirren have 4 or 5 players just on the edge of the box in the 6-yard box as Alex Grieve and Mark O'Hara, as the ball comes in all the way towards the back post. Ross Laidlaw can't get there, and it's eventually Scott Allardyce, I think, who got the last touch just to clear to safety. St Mirren applying more pressure as the game grows older, and they have a throw in line with the Ross County 18-yard box down this near side as Mark O'Hara jogs after it into the jail end to take. St Mirren quite keen to keep the pressure on the home side. O'Hara, Allardyce slips in the surface and O'Hara can drift the ball in, but it's Jordan White back doing the dirty defensive work who heads clear. St Mirren come again. Alex Gogic picked up the scraps, floats the ball in towards Alex Grieve, and he's met by the head of Will Nightingale, and Brown clears up to halfway. Simon Murray unable to win the header. Now Keanu Bacchus in possession. Greg Kiltie does well to shield the ball away from Nightingale. O'Hara is in possession. The St Mirren skipper rolls the ball down this near side to McMenamin. McMenamin takes aim, looks for Grieve on the edge of the Ross County 18, but it's met by Will Nightingale, and Ross County can launch an attack of their own. Jan Danda out to Murray. Danda's in support. Murray going alone up to 18 yards. Danda with the cross. Looked perfect height for Jordan White, but he was unable to get there, and a foul goes the way of St Mirren. Good ball in from Danda, and I just thought it might have fallen perfectly for Jordan White, but alas no.
It's everything we've been talking about though, because they show a bit of composure at the back. St Mirren are having a good spell and they're pressing and they're putting balls in, but they show composure. Nightingale takes it down, makes a pass, they go wide, the ball comes in, and suddenly it's got to be defended. So much better from Ross County. St Mirren having a good spell, but they showed composure to start that attack that nearly ended up a chance for them.
30 minutes on the clock, half an hour gone in Dingwall, and Zach Hemming launches the free kick on the edge of his 18-yard box forward. O'Hara challenging with Ben Purrington for the scraps as Bacchus heads on. He was taken at the game as well in the air by Ryan Leake, and Ross County have possession on the far side with Brown skipping into the St Mirren half. His ball forward, left by White. Danda wasn't expecting it. Murray couldn't reach it, and St Mirren have possession with Tanser. Launches the ball forward. Ross Laidlaw's come just outside the edge of his box on the far side, but he is there just to guide the ball behind for the goal kick. Alex unable to get onto it. Alex Grieve, incidentally, making his first league start of the season. He's the most used sub in the Premiership this season, with 13 sub-appearances to his name. Desperate to make an impact on his first start. No foul, says Willie Collum down this near side. In fact, he has now called proceedings back. Ryan Leake goes to ground, and Willie Collum has a bit of sorting out to do.
You know what, he's not, I've watched him. As soon as it's played, he's not watching it, he's not seen it, Willie Collum. It's played and Leake kind of slides when he goes to hit the ball. He kicks into Mandron. Mandron's coming across the block. He's called it right, because it probably is a free kick, but there's not a real intent or huge connection from Mandron, and he's done well, Willie Collum, there, because I thought, oh no, he's going to get involved and book him here when he's not really seen it.
Willie Collum making his first trip to Dingwall this season. He was on VAR duty for the weekend's game involving Ross County Kilmarnock. It's his first trip since April, when he took charge of Ross County's defeat to Celtic at the end of last season. And he's on hand to spot the ball going out of play down this near side. Marcus Fraser takes the throw-in into the feet of Gogic. Now Fraser drifts the ball infield. It's behind Charles Dunn, who has a bit of sorting out to do. And Dunn eventually goes back to his goalkeeper. He's under pressure from Simon Murray, but Hemming does well to launch the ball forward to Grieve, beaten in the air by Baldwin. Now McMenamin in this new role down the right-hand side in the absence of Ryan Strain. He's been a real standout for St Mirren this season, injured on international duty with Australia last week. A real blow for Stephen Robinson's men. As Fraser has a throw-in for the visitors. Down this near side, a League Cup winner with Ross County, Marcus Fraser. Won the Championship and also Challenge Cup as the Ross County captain as well. A player with real quality, a player that you know all about, having coached him at Ross County as well. Marcus Fraser, he's done well. Well, he did well for Ross County, and he's doing very well for St Mirren.
And what a boy is as well. I mean, model pro, just drives his teammates on. Every manager that comes into clubs and underestimates Marcus and always wins his place back.
Tanzer with the ball in towards the 6-yard box. Might fall kindly for Alex Grieve, and Ross County eventually clear the danger. And it's Ben Purrington who's sliding into challenges. Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, I've been really impressed with the quality of the balls from the left-hand side. Yeah. Tanzer's caused real problems, and in fact it's all kicking off here because St Mirren have played the free kick quickly, and Bacchus is fouled once again in the process, and it's gone for a St Mirren free kick. Willie Collum heavily involved now. We've not really spoken too much about him, but he's crept into the game in the last few minutes as it starts to get a bit untidy.
I totally agree with you, all down that left for St Mirren, and when they get there, whether it's Tanzer, whether it was Kilty on the odd occasion, just putting in a great ball. There was McMenamin once as well, so yeah, they look as if they could get joy there. And I'll tell you what, the defensive touch in the header took it away from Grieve at a vital moment.
Greg Kilty over this one, right-footed delivery, swung in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. The scraps eventually picked up by Bacchus, knocked in away by Allardyce on the edge of the box, and Allardyce has done well to win the scraps again midway through his own half as he launches an attack out towards the far side. Conor Randall is the furthest forward in navy blue, hangs the ball up on the edge of the 18, waits for the support from Jordan White, but he's beaten to the ball, although it's cleared and straight to a Ross County jersey. It's James Brown in possession on the far side, harried and hassled by Alex Grieve, and St Mirren tidy up, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. You get the feeling that St Mirren, I think you said it earlier on, after about 18 minutes they're starting to settle into the game, and Ross County, despite their early enthusiasm, have not really managed to do anything in the last 10-15 minutes or so.
Again, you're on the money. I mean, apart from the first 10 minutes, it's been a pretty even game since then. And Ross County have lost their way a wee bit. And I think the two strikers, they don't play close to one another at times. They run about and they're hoping rather than try to link up with one another. I think it'd be more beneficial to them if they just concentrate. They're two big lads. They just getting closer together. When it's played up to them, just hold it in and lay it off. I think that'd suit their game better. But I think they're like running channels and one's, isolated from the other, so it's going to be few and far between that you get the opportunity to go and play a nice bit of football.
Jordan White all the way back to the halfway line, and the ball has gone behind for a St Mirren throw-in right on the edge of the technical area. Stephen Robinson, it was quite silly from Ben Purrington, because he was just ushering the ball out of play expecting a Ross County throw-in, but it quite clearly come off a Ross County jersey, as Marcus Fraser quickly takes a free kick just in front of the Ross County technical area and under the watchful eye of Derek Adams. Now Keanu Bacchus, looping ball out to the left-hand side, met by Tanzer, gets away from Randall. He's got James Brown buzzing round the ankles, but Tanzer wins another corner for the visitors. And I suppose, they've had a couple of corners and some good chances out on that far side, but they have to really start working Ross Laidlaw.
Yeah, the in-swinger to the back post in the last corner caused them a few problems when he palmed it on to Mandron. So, yeah, they're going for the in-swinger again. I think that's the best way forward for St Mirren.
And it comes all the way towards the back post. Alex Gogic is there with the header. And it drifts behind the goal of Ross Laidlaw, not too far away. And that's the first real effort on the Ross County goal. And it was Alex Gogic who just ghosted in towards the back post. I watched him in the build-up there. He was hiding behind Mikel Mandron, and he did well to get his head onto it, but not enough to guide it on target.
Well, he was off for the nosebleed, but you see how important it could be, especially at set pieces, when he got himself free. And don't get me wrong, he was on the stretch and maybe put it half a yard past the right, Laidlaw's left-hand post, the right-hand post as he heads it. But it's the first thing I've written down in the game, the first real effort at goal. We need more of that.
Gian Danda out to the far side. It's James Brown, skips his way into the 18-yard box. Allardyce digs out the pass, it goes towards Puddington, and Zach Hemming clutches the ball away. Well, it was a nice little scooped pass from Allardyce all the way into the 6-yard box. Ben Puddington it was who made his way in, and Zach Hemming, who's once again out to punch the ball away. He's taken a few knocks as the St Mirren goalkeeper in this opening 38 minutes. 38 minutes on the clock. Let's now get the thoughts of former St Mirren striker Stephen Thompson. Stephen, what have you made of the game so far?
Well, I think I've given it the old commentator's curse after about the 9th minute.
Yes, you did.
I mean, it was a great start and it was frenetic and it was frantic, but unfortunately that kind of carried on without the chances. There's been no real control. I think possibly St Mirren, as the half's grown on, have looked the more controlled side, but again, really struggling to create opportunities. St Mirren's always, I've watched them so many times this season, such a threat down the left-hand side. Tanser's delivery is magnificent, and that I see has been our best way to go. But really, since the opening kind of 10 minutes, it's been a poor match. No composure, nobody really getting their foot in the ball. Possibly
they both look rushed, don't they?
Everything's rushed, Dodgy. Everything's rushed. Nobody's willing to
touch,
keep the ball, just for 4 or 5 passes and show just a wee bit of composure, a bit of relaxation in the ball. But it is very, very frantic. It's a very difficult game to call at this minute. So few chances and really quite scrappy without any team having much control.
Here's a chance for St Mirren, well, almost, as Mikel Mandron almost got a ricochet of the ball on the edge of the Ross County 18-yard box, but Jack Baldwin quickest to it and slices the ball away to safety, but Mandron will come again. Back to Tanser, in line with the 18-yard box on the far side. In comes a cross all the way towards the back post. Mark O'Hara will recover and recycle the scraps as he puts the ball into the middle of the Ross County half to find Keanu Bacchus. Bacchus knocks the ball over the top for Alex Grieve, who slips on the surface, unable to keep the ball in at the byline, and it goes behind for a Ross County goal kick. And that unfortunate slip from Alex Grieve pretty much sums up the night for the attacking unit of St Mirren.
Yeah, and Ross County, you have to add. I mean, both teams have been so similar in their approach. I'm not surprised with the straight matchups, as we said, both playing 3-5-2, sometimes being direct, sometimes trying to play football, but it's direct football. I would like Stephen a bit more passing, see if we can get a bit of build up, but I can understand where such an important game, nobody really wants to take a chance to give away an easy goal, so it's a bit coy, it's a bit careful during the game, but I still think something will happen. I'm just waiting, and I think the game will grow if we got a goal, because one team will be on the chase as well, so it just needs something to happen here.
3.5 minutes to go before the half-time interval. Goalless at the moment here on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra, online and on BBC Sounds, as Marcus Fraser fires the ball away to safety up to Mikel Mandron, as well marshalled by Scott Allardyce, and it's gone behind just in front of us for a St Mirren throw-in. Ross County goalless at the weekend against Kilmarnock. They've also had a goalless draw in October against Dundee away at Dens Park, although did have a goal unfairly ruled off in that one. Danda, Allardyce midway through the St Mirren half, unable to pick out Jordan White. And Charles Dunn in for Richard Taylor. Fires the ball away to safety, but St Mirren have bodies coming forward, and the foul, no foul, says Willie Collum, as Tanzer was going to ground. Keanu Bacchus wins the ball back for St Mirren midway through the Ross County half. In fact, now the decision has gone the way of St Mirren, and Willie Collum getting involved. And this free kick just outside the Ross County half of the centre circle. It's Charles Dunn who's over it. The second oldest in the St Mirren squad, behind 36-year-old Ryan Flynn, who is on the bench for the Saints this evening. In fact, it is Fraser who will take it instead of Dunn. Both hands in the air as he goes short to McMenamin. With the left foot, drills the ball in towards the back post. Ross County clear though, and it's mopped up down the near side by Ben Purrington, and the throw-in goes the way of the home side in line with their 18-yard box. A minute and a half to go, 0-0 in Dingwall.
It's not a bad ploy from a central free kick deep, and they just try and change the angle where McMenamin, Marcus Fraser goes to as if he's going to take it and just put it in the box and just rolls it wide for the McMenamin in swinger, and Gogic's nearly got on the end of it, but yet again comes to nothing.
It's a long throw-in from Jack Baldwin, who was at his own corner flag as he skipped forward to take it, but it's a bit of defending to do for the Ross County captain on the edge of his 18. Eventually Conor Randall gets up to head away. Jordan White picks up the scraps midway through his own half, but St Mirren have it back with McMenamin. Strokes the ball back to his defender Charles Dunn, who knocks the ball first time into the air for Ryan Leake to defend, and Ryan Leake lets the ball go over his head before flicking away, but it's not out of play and it's kept in by McMenamin. Now O'Hara down this right hand side, hogging the touchline as he picks out Mikael Manderon, St Mirren's top goal scorer in the Premiership this season, and he loses out down the near side to Scott Allardyce as we are 20 seconds away from 45, and Ross County have a throw-in.
Well, as we said, and Stephen's touched on it as well, and we can all see it here. We've got to tell the listeners it's been frantic, it's been quick, and it's been a lot of effort in the industry, but just lacking that quality, lacking that final killer balls, lacking a goal. I'm sure if we get one it would maybe spring to life, but you can't say the effort's not there.
And right on cue is the half-time whistle from Willie Collum. Yeah, as Billy said, it was a frantic start to this one, both sides showing plenty of life. Jan Danda was lively in the opening 10-15 minutes or so, but St Mirren have gradually eased their way into the game and had the only real chance so far of the 45. Alex Gogic heading behind from 6 yards out from the corner on the far side. Goalless in Dingwall at half-time here at the Global Energy Stadium. It's Ross County 0, St Mirren 0.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
What a goal!
Join me, Shona Aitken, for the final of BBC Radio Scotland's Young Jazz Musician 2023.
It's a real pleasure to be here and to be part of a celebration of young Scottish jazz music.
A massive thank you to everyone who's helped me play music and do this, hopefully for a living one day.
6 finalists take to the stage and perform in front of an audience at Pacific Quay in Glasgow for this prestigious title.
As we said, there can only be one winner, and the winner tonight is
the BBC Radio Scotland Young Jazz Musician 2023. Listen on BBC Sounds.
So goalless at half-time in the Premiership. Ross County against St Mirren. 3 other matches in Scotland this evening. In League One, half-time is Montrose 0, the leaders Falkirk 0, and it's Annan Athletic 1, second place Hamilton 2. Accies, of course, knocked out of the Scottish Cup by Kelty Hearts at the weekend. 2 goals up within 19 minutes. Dario Zanata, third of the season. Lewis Smith, second of the campaign. But Michael Garrity has pulled one back for Annan Athletic. So Annan Athletic 1, Hamilton 2. And it's just gone half-time at East End Park, where it's Dunfermline 0, Arbroath 0. Arbroath, of course, starting their new era post-Dick Campbell. Champions League tonight, of course, we'll get to Lazio 2, Celtic 0 in just a moment or two. Shakhtar 1-0 winners against Antwerp. Elsewhere, still about 10 minutes to go in the first half of most of these matches. AC Milan 0, Dortmund 1, Barcelona 0, FC Porto 1, Feyenoord 0, Atletico Madrid 1. Barcelona have just equalised against Porto in that match. João Cancelo cancelling out the Pepe goal for Porto. Manchester City 0, Leipzig 2, Openda with both goals for the German side there. It's PSG 0, Newcastle United 1, Alexander Isak with a goal in 24 minutes, and Young Boys are 2-0 up against Red Star. So goals in, well, all the matches there in the Champions League. Still waiting for a goal in Dingwall. Stephen Thompson has been watching the first 45 minutes. I bet you're glad you're not putting together a highlights package of this one for Sports Scene, Tomo.
Yes, you could say that. Well, to be fair, the game started quite well, and you know, Ross County clearly came out of the traps. New manager, he's wanting a quick start in front of the home support, and they got that, but it kind of fizzled out. It lasted a good 5 minutes, and they had a couple of half efforts, if you like, on the St Mirren goal, but then the game just kind of really became scrappy. Neither side dominating possession, neither side looking very much in control of the ball. I'd say as the half went on, St Mirren probably finished it the better side. Certainly territorially, St Mirren pushed more in that first half towards the end of it, without any real quality. St Mirren's away form hasn't been good. For me, on Saturday, I watched the game against Livingston. They weren't great, but they got the result, and they needed that result after the thumping they took at Dundee. But for a while now, I feel as though St Mirren have just missed a wee bit of the spark that was there early in the season. Yes, they're still sitting third, but they're not playing quite as well as they did. And things are kind of more of a struggle, if you like, now than certainly they were earlier in the season. I mean, that's great to say when you're sitting in third place in the league. But, you know, it's just my observation. Ross County, you know, Dodsey mentioned during commentary that Danda had looked good and found space on the ball, and he has done, but when the ball has gone up to White and Simon Murray, they've really struggled to do anything with it. They've not looked together, they've not looked cohesive. It's been a pretty average game after the first 10 minutes, so let's hope it gets a wee bit better in the second half.
Indeed. We'll come back to you, we'll chat more, and we'll ponder the options for the second half. Let's wrap things up in terms of Celtic, because we really didn't have very long to do so, given there was so much stoppage time, and we had to get to Dingwall, of course, for the kick-off to that game. Tom, one thing we didn't get the chance to talk about, it was quite disturbing beforehand, actually, just before we get to the football, the horrible, absolutely staggering sight of seeing the two sets of fans throwing flares at each other in the stands there just ahead of the game. I haven't seen any reports of injuries, but that is only by the grace of God.
Yeah, and like, you know, there's no form of words or actions that is going to penetrate the brains of these people. They don't care. So Celtic and Lazio and every other club could go on bended knee. They could stick or carrot. Doesn't work. These people are going to, it's the illicit nature of smuggling these things into stadiums, just throwing them around the place. It's the kick. So they have absolute total disregard for their fellow supporters, and all the science is there to say that these things are dangerous, but they don't care. They don't care. They see it as a bit of crack, a bit of fun, and someone's going to get hurt. People do get hurt, but these guys, they just couldn't care less.
I mean, is it reaching the point where, I mean, I don't know how much more clubs can do, how much, I mean, I really don't. I don't know what kind of procedures there are in Rome, for instance, but certainly it's illegal in Scotland, and yet it's been completely ignored. What on earth do the clubs do next in terms of trying to prevent this? It's
difficult. I mean, it's difficult for them. You know, it is illegal, but no one ever gets arrested for them. I think if clubs found guilty parties, they would ban them. I think they would. At this point, I think the clubs have had enough of it. But it's very difficult to target these people, to find them. It's like, You know, we've had like a summit in inverted commas last week about it. You have all this stuff from, you know, these people about who go pro pyro. Oh, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about safe pyro. Like, that's all that they don't come up with anything else. You have on the other side, you have all the science that says these things are not safe. And then on the other side, you say, well, let's have a conversation of how we can make them safe. You can't make them safe. They're not safe. Certainly not safe to be thrown at rival fans from a distance. So it's an inane argument, in inverted commas, from the pro-pyro brigade. But it's very difficult because fans and the whole kind of the illicit nature of them, the rebel spirit in the fans, this fan culture. Oh, you're affecting it. You're trying to take away the fan culture. No, like the vast majority of fans don't want these things. They don't want to be breathing in the fumes. They don't want to feel under threat. Respiratory illnesses caused by this, apart from burning. There's tons of side effects to these things. But it comes down to these people they have absolutely no regard for their fellow fans. They just want a bit of a cheap thrill.
I kind of have to assume that once again UEFA will throw out some fines and we'll just move on, won't we? It's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. As for the game itself, we'll hear from Brendan Rodgers shortly. James McFadden is still there inside the stadium. We do appreciate him hanging on to just reflect on the game. Just a devastating conclusion for a match which for a long time, I mean, maybe it's just the same old story, Faddy, that Celtic didn't look in too much bother for the most part, did they?
No, they didn't. I think it was same old story in terms of Celtic looked comfortable and in the end come away with nothing. I didn't think they had, in some of their earlier games, they had good attacking, speed in their attack and looked really good against Lazio at home. Atletico Madrid at home, I thought they looked really comfortable tonight and probably lacking that attacking threat. And look, I think if it the finish 0-0, I don't think anybody would have complained about the result. But likewise, when you bring on players of quality, Immobile and Pedro, and they score goals, then you're not surprised, are you? So look, it's another disappointing campaign for Celtic. Their fans are actually still sitting in the stadium. They've been kept back. I don't know how long they need to stay here for. So they've had a lot of time to reflect as well. But it's been a poor campaign, and I think it shows you that when Celtic have their best players available, 11v11, I think they can compete very well. But when it starts to go down to using the squad and bringing in players as replacements, the quality is not there for them. So maybe it's a moment where they look and say, right, of course, yes, you want to buy young players and projects and make them better and sell them on, but you also need to buy players that are ready to come into the team and fight for a spot in that team. So yeah, just a disappointment for Celtic. I thought they were comfortable. I thought they looked pretty good, without really having that threat going forward. Although the second half, they were far more threatening than the first.
Well, you do wonder, don't you, what they might have done had they had the likes of Palman, Maeda, Nabada, Hatate all available for the side tonight. Right, the reaction now of Brendan Rodgers.
Clearly, result, I'm very disappointed. I thought in terms of performance, first half we were too safe with the ball. I felt we kept the ball, but we needed to progress the game that bit more. Whilst we were fairly comfortable, second half we were much better, progressing the game through the pitch and managed the game well, and then we arrive in the ascendancy in the last probably 20 minutes, so we looked like the team that could go on and get the result. But we give away two poor goals. The first one we're in a great position where we've walked the ball up the pitch, and then we lose possession and then we never recover our shape back again, and then they get a bit of luck with the deflection into Immobile's place. So that was a tough one to take so late on, and then obviously we've got to be stronger and better for the second goal.
That obviously now means no European football after Christmas, which would have been the aim coming into this campaign. Is that a big disappointment for you?
Well, it clearly is, yeah, but we're disappointed. That was the aim. I think sadly for us, over the course of all the games, we've been hampered with our squad and availability, which at this level for us we need to at very minimum, have our best players available. But I have to commend the players that have been playing. They've given everything. I think the game was very competitive right the way through, and like I said, we were giving everything to that. Just sadly, we conceded 2 goals, but effort, commitment was there from the players. So yeah, disappointing not to have European football like what we wanted, but we go into the last game now and see if we can finish with a higher points total than last season.
Brendan, you talked about being competitive and lapse of concentration again in this game, and that's happened in previous games. How do you change that for next season with this team?
Listen, I just think I think we'll try in terms of lapse of concentration. We give the ball away, and then obviously I think we trace it back to the guy coming on the inside. A little bit of luck has gone against us. But I think it's the overall quality at the level. I think we need to have our very best players available looking into this competition, and also have an added quality. That's what makes the difference. I think these players here have been competitive in every game, but what makes the difference is that little bit of experience and genuine quality, especially at the top end of the field. So that's hopefully something that we can look to resolve over the couple of windows.
Still 1-0 for Atletico Madrid, almost half-time in Rotterdam. A Geertruida own goal. That result, or that scoreline, would see Atletico Madrid and Lazio progress from the group. Right, I mean, it's difficult, James, isn't it, for Brendan Rodgers trying to sum that up. But the bottom line is, he's right. They're going to need more quality right across the pitch if they're to have any chance of making a better fist of the Champions League in the future.
Yeah, because he spoke about if he had all his main players available. Well, when you play through the season, you miss certain players, and you rely on the quality of the squad to step up. And some players come in and make a name for themselves and stay in the team, like Liam Scales. I know he was a bit critical of Liam Scales for the second goal in terms of being stronger, but he stepped up when there was a problem, and now he's first choice alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers. They do have to get better. I felt through the game that it was safe, and Tom mentioned it about having possession and not really doing anything with it at half time. I felt as though they had opportunity to play it. It's a risky pass, but that's why the players are in the position they're supposed to be, the midfielders, to go and get turned and play the ball forward. They've done it better second half, but ultimately I think that it's shown over the last number of years that when Celtic are missing key players, they're not at their fluent best. So
right, James, we're just going to have
be addressed.
Yeah, going to have to leave it there, my friend. Safe journey home for you and the guys. Thank you so much, and thanks to Tom. As you can hear, the action already up and running quickly in the second half in Dingwall. So let's get back to our commentary team. It's goalless, remember. Ross County against St Mirren. We're going there with Billy Dodds and Ian Auld.
Thank you, Richard. Yep, we're not hanging about here in Dingwall. The temperature has dropped to -2 at the Global Energy Stadium, hoping for plenty of action to heat us up in the second half. This one started well in the first half. It was a frantic opening, both sides buzzing around, but it fairly tailored off towards the end of the first half, and it was goalless at the interval. And there is no changes for either side at the break. St Mirren will go right to left in the second half towards the north stand, which is traditionally the away end at the ground, although Alex Gogic is over in front of the away supporters, away over on the far side with a throw-in. In line with the 18-yard box as he dusts the ball off and rolls the ball in towards Mikael Mandron. Thumped away to safety. Ross County all in navy and blue with white collar, and white flashes will go from left to right towards the jail end at Dingwall in the second half. St Mirren with possession, whipped in towards Mandron. Good cross, bounced all the way, thankfully for Ross County, into the gloves of Ross Laidlaw.
Yeah, and Baldwin was clever enough to let it go, or did he not want to touch it, or did he get a shout from his goalkeeper? But anyway, it was straight through, and it's one of those sometimes when it misses a player, whether it's an attacking player or defender, ends up in the far corner. Luckily for Ross County, straight into the gloves of Laidlaw.
Charles Dunn ushering the ball away from Simon Murray down this left-hand side as Tanzer drifts in field, beaten to the ball by Connor Randall. Now James Brown keeps it in at the touchline and hits the first time ball for Jordan White to chase all the way to the byline. Alex Gogic does well just to turn away from the big striker and roll the ball away to safety. Here's Scott Tanser, scored in St Mirren's last victory here in Dingwall. It was a 3-2 success. Marcus Fraser also on the score sheet. Eamon Brophy with a goal for St Mirren. He is, of course, these days at Ross County, although out of the squad this evening. As Brown picks up, dances his way forward, tries to flick the ball into the path of Connor Randall, who was standing motionless on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it goes all the way through to the all-in-green Zach Hemming. It's just not clicking for Ross County, Billy.
No, Danda again's trying to make it though. I mean, he's right in front of us here, picks up the ball, drives down the touchline, and he spots a pass, a little reverse pass inside. I'm thinking that's not bad, but they can't hold it up, and then the chance is gone. They just need to be a little bit more cohesive and making sure they keep the ball and link up a little bit more, but that comes with belief and not taking chances that you're down the bottom of the league and anything you give away, a mistake might lead to a goal. So cagey from Ross County, but St Mirren have not really fared any better so far in the match.
Yeah, cagey is the key word to describe this one so far. 48 minutes gone. Ross County have an issue on the far side. Looks like Ben Purrington has gone down, feeling the full effects of a challenge which he has won a free kick for, as Ryan Leake stands over him, making sure he's okay. The physio is standing just at the edge of the pitch.
Scott Allardyce it is.
Scott Allardyce, sorry.
I saw him get in. I'm not just. I saw him get in for the challenge, and that's why I knew. And I thought, and it's just a coming together. But they certainly clattered into one another. Allardyce and the St Mirren player, and he's come off with a sore one.
I was just watching on in the technical area. The physio just seemed to be just waiting for that word, but it didn't come. And Ryan Leake continues as he fires the free kick down the Ross County left. Jordan White unable to hold it up. 25 yards from the St Mirren goal, and Zach Hemming will gather in. It's a first time ball, booted forward, finding Alex Grieve, who's in a dangerous position over on the far side, heading towards the corner flag, eventually stopped in his tracks by Ryan Leake, who stands up, takes a sore one as he clears the ball. With 50 minutes on the clock, St Mirren have a throw-in, and Alex Gogic jogs forward. He'll take in front of the St Mirren fans, takes it quickly in the process as well. St Mirren move the ball in towards Charles Dunn, just inside the Ross County half, as he fires the first time ball forward. Picked up by Greg Kelty down this near side, gets the better of Connor Randall, sends the ball into the box. Was there a foul on the edge of the box? Willie Collum didn't seem to think so, as Mark O'Hara gathers, puts it out towards Alex Grieve, who looks to take on Ben Purrington, edge of the Ross County 18, gets the ball into the box, is taken down by Kelty. Mark O'Hara recovers and recycles the ball out towards Alex Grieve. Bacchus, Murray intercepts, does well, and flicks the ball on, and it's gone out of play on the far side for a Ross County throw-in. Again, a bit of a coming together on the edge of the Ross County penalty box. Willie Collum quick to say no, but St Mirren felt hard done by, Billy.
He looks as if he might have been caught, but he handballed it as well. I think it was McMenamin coming in from that side when Kelty flicked in the in-swinging cross, and he gets to the edge of the box. He looks as if he just gets here, but the ball comes up and hits his hand. And again, it comes to nothing because St Mirren have got a chance to put it in, and Greaves wide in the right though, so that's one of the strikers out of the game. They're not sure if they want to just pitch it in the box for nothing, and then they end up just making a pass too many, and then Murray gets back and clears it. And do you know what? That's the story of the game so far. Just asking the question, being positive, showing composure, and being direct, and there's been not enough of that.
Here's Keanu Bacchus, gets his foot on the ball, rolls it in field to Tanser, who was under pressure from Danda and Brown, as he manages to get the ball forward. Jordan White plucks it out of the air, under pressure from Mandron, and St Mirren have it in the midfield with Mark O'Hara. Now Kelty down this near side, just in front of our commentary position is Scott Tanser. First time ball, finds Kelty on the edge of the box and fires across the face of goal, but once again straight into the chest of Ross Laidlaw, who thought about the first time ball and now rolls it into the path of Connor Randall, who's under pressure from Mikael Mandron. James Brown fires the ball forward, straight onto the head of Charles Dunn though, as Jordan White flicks on the scraps. Scott Allardyce fouled in the process, but Ben Purrington has possession. Allardyce back on his feet, now in possession 5 yards inside the St Mirren half. Dead centre is Conor Randall. Now Nightingale. Danda. First real involvement of the second half for him as he flights the ball in. It bounces beyond Gogic and White. Might have felt kindly at the back post for Simon Murray. Randall. Now Danda once again. First time cross. Looking for Jordan White. This time it bounces over the head and away by Marcus Fraser. Two really good balls, two inviting balls into the box there from Jan Danda. As Ross County come again and Randall unable to win possession. And he's won a throw-in down the near side.
It's one of those nights, and I'm sure you're the same, when you just want to say, get it to the creative players. Maybe Kilty, McMenamin, players like that for St Mirren, and then Danda for Ross County. And you can see there, once he gets it, you know you're going to get a bit of quality in the box. It's bouncing, it could go in off a defender. The two strikers are in there, Murray and White, and they nearly get there, and they have to defend it pretty well, St Mirren.
Baldwin throws the ball into the 18-yard box where Jordan White was unable to get on the end of it. St Mirren eventually get the ball clear, met by the towering figure of Will Nightingale on the halfway line as Mandaron battles with Brown. Now Murray has to shield off Charles Dunn. Now it's Brown down the near side, heading towards the edge of the 18-yard box for Ross County. He's got support to right and left. He goes in field to find Simon Murray, goes back to Brown, but it's away by Dunn. Now Baldwin on the edge of the 18 is Jordan White, on to Conor Randall, who drills the ball towards goal and somehow stopped. Well, that was Ross County's best chance of the evening. 54 on the clock, and Conor Randall so close to opening the scoring.
What an angle we've got of it, and I'm thinking, oh, if that just doesn't bend right at the last minute, it's going to clip off the inside of the post and end up in the net. But it's brilliant build-up, 3-4 passes into John White, laid off to Randall, who hits a strike. He's just screwed it a little bit, and it's enough to take it onto the post and booted clear by Gogic.
James Brown has collected the ball over on the far side. He'll take the corner in between the gap of the jail end and east stand. One arm in the air, a right-footed delivery in towards the near post, away by Kilty as Ryan Leake was too casual in his approach, waiting for it, and eventually the throw-in goes on the far side where Ross County, positive for them, they've scored 10 of their 11 goals this season in the second half of games. Their only goal in the first half was Kyle Turner's strike against St Johnstone back in August.
I think they need more of that, Ross County, not just the passing and all that. I'm talking about strikers just taking in for the sake of it, staying central, holding it up, linking it, looking for the nearest player. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, because you'll get efforts at goal because of it.
Conor Randall it was with the shot. He's taking a bit of a sore one as he challenges in the process midway through his own half with Kilty. St Mirren have possession with McMenamin drifting in field. Bacchus, now Tanzer, the Australian Bacchus, who's the most booked player in the Premiership this season, rolls it back out to Tanzer, hugging this touchline down the near side, the St Mirren left, just in front of us in the main stand, as Brown wins possession back. Now Baldwin rolls the ball forward, although it goes straight into the chest of Charles Dunn, who launches it first time, and it goes all the way through to Ross Laidlaw, all in red, who quickly gathers, and it's rolled out once again. And it just looks a wee bit, we mentioned it in the first half, Billy, rushed and hurried, and both teams just looking to just do things really quickly but really clumsily. As Ross County might get some joy here as Simon Murray breaks through and goal. Charles Dunn stands up, and in fact the offside flag is up down this near side. Well, Simon Murray for the first time in the game really got some joy in the 18-yard box, but offside.
Yeah, just gone too early. You can see because of that effort though, it's got Ross County's tails up. Yeah, you're right, it's still as quick and rushed as the first half, but you know, it's a traditional Scottish Premier game. I've seen so many of them, and it's so important to make sure you get a point and try and steal the three for both teams for their own reasons. And you can see County there, he nearly got in behind Murray, and Gogic does well to stick with him. He's offside anyway, he goes early, but Gogic, it's a good bit of defending.
Charles Dunn on the halfway line, lumps the ball forward for Mandron to chase. He's joined by Ryan Lake, who eventually flicks the ball away to safety. Keanu Bacchus recovers, turns away from Allardyce, into the feet of Mandron. O'Hara looping ball in towards the back post. It's met by Ross Laidlaw, and the goalkeeper has two big gloves on it as he rolls the ball out towards Jordan White. Now Jan Danda out to Conor Randall. Randall looks to take on Tanzer. Tanzer gets the better of him, sticks her right foot out and wins the ball, and now sets Mikael Mandron away, who rolls the ball down the near side. He's got support from Greg Kiltie. Across comes Will Nightingale. Kiltie whips the ball in with the right foot, not cleared away by Randall. It might still come to Tanzer, and it's an awkward first touch from Tanzer, and that goes straight through to the Ross County goalkeeper. Stephen Robinson looks like he has had enough, and he is going to change things. Yona Ayunga is stripped and ready for action. Approaching the hour mark, Ross County though have possession meantime over on the far side, as Purrington goes all the way back to Leake. Now Allardyce forced all the way back to Will Nightingale midway through his own half. Ross County over halfway, and it's James Brown in possession, the Irishman who signed from Blackburn Rovers in the summer. Finds Murray, lays it off for Conor Randall. Real chance for Ross County, and Conor Randall really has to do better. Lovely layoff from Simon Murray, and yet, Conor Randall, all he had to do was pick his spot, but he blasted way over into the jail end.
Yeah, but it's what we're crying out for, somebody to show that composure, to really do it with a bit of authority. James Brown picks the ball up, first striker's over Simon Murray, Jordan White, and it's played, and it's beyond him, but the second striker's where he should be as well, flicks it on, picks up, Randall through, he just has to show that composure, keep it down, he probably scores, blast over the bar.
Well, let's now get the thoughts of former St Mirren striker Stephen Thompson. Stephen, just as Yona Ayunga is introduced into the action, he replaces Mikael Mandron. You saw enough on Saturday to convince you that this could be a really good option for St Mirren.
Yeah, I mean, Ayunga's a good player. He's been missed so far this season. Obviously wasn't missed tonight. He's just back from a long-term injury. Mandron's had a difficult night, not really had a lot of the ball and done very little with it when he's had it, but a couple of big moments there for Ross County. They, for me, have been the better team in the second half. I can understand why Stephen Robinson's looking to make changes, but Randall on that occasion, I think, I've got obviously the luxury of a television replay. It just bobbled slightly before he hit it. I mean, it's a really good chance, 18 yards out. He's on his left foot this time. The one he'd had on his right hit the frame of the post, but he's got to hit the target. It does take a wee bobble and he puts it high over the bar, but for me, County in the second half, just upped it a wee notch.
Thank you, Stephen. County are in possession with Jan Danda. It's tight in that midfield, midway through the St Mirren half, as he tries to flick the ball out towards the near side to Will Nightingale, and it's gone behind for a throw-in. Yona Ayunga introduced into the action, the first sub of the evening. Mikael Mandron has come off. Ayunga was transfer listed by Derek Adams at Morecambe before rejoining Stephen Robinson with St Mirren. It's almost a script writer's dream, isn't it, for Ayunga to play a big part in this game against his former manager. Goalkeeper finds goalkeeper. 61 on the clock here in Dingwall. Ross County 0, St Mirren 0 on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra, online and on BBC Sounds. As Alex Gogic looks up and fires the ball onto the head of Ayunga. His layoff unable to find Kiltie. It's away by Randall. Now Gogic inside to O'Hara. O'Hara was being chased down by Scott Allardyce, and now County have possession with St Mirren with Alex Screeve on the far side, heading towards the corner flag, gets the cross into the box, and it's met with the left foot of Nightingale as he side-foots the ball out of play on the far side into the St Mirren supporters, who use that moment to get a rally cry in to cheer their side on. And Simon Murray does well to win possession for the way of the home side.
It was St Mirren's turn that time to show a bit of composure building from the back, and then just 2 or 3 passes and hook it in the channel. You know, the Will Grieve is there, he's holding up, he's had little to work with tonight, but he's worked his socks off, he really has, and holds it up, Gets in a good cross as well, just fell in between, I think it was Kelty and Ayunga, and it was a Ross County player that cleared it, but better from St Mirren.
Here's Simon Murray, gets away from Alex Gogic on the far side. He's racing down the Ross County left, eventually stopped in his tracks by Charles Dunn, who turns and clears the ball up towards Ayunga on halfway. Nightingale and Ayunga wrestling for possession, and eventually the free kick goes the way of the home side. Stephen Robinson shows his frustration, raising his two hands in the air at Willie Collum's decision, as Ayunga and Nightingale scrapped for possession, and it's right on halfway. Ross County have possession in the form of the free kick, and it's Jack Baldwin, the captain, behind it. Looks up and forces the ball out towards the far side for Ben Purrington. Come off Marcus Fraser last, and it's gone behind for a throw-in, and this one in line with the penalty spot, way over on the far side. Purrington has taken a couple of steps back. He's going to launch this one in with the long throw. All the way into the box it comes, met by the head of Alex Gogic. Allardyce wins the ball back for County. It's back to Jack Baldwin. Baldwin into the feet of Murray. Now out to the far side is Danda, who drifts in field, finds Murray. Murray gets the ball into the box. It's met by Greg Kiltie on the edge of his 18, but Allardyce heads on. It's come back into the penalty box, and up goes Jordan White, contesting with Alex Gogic, and big striker meets big defender, and St Mirren win the free kick.
Danda's in trouble as well. He kind of showed his frustration to Willie Collum, and you know Willie Collum doesn't have any of that, just looks at him as if he's a little schoolboy, and he's not letting him off with it, because Danda tries to walk away. He's got him back. He just waved his hand at him, and he's not happy with that, Willie.
Yeah, Willie Collum having a quick word with Jan Danda. No more of that, please, to the former Swansea midfielder.
How dare he?
No one messes with our Willie Collum. As St Mirren will take the free kick just on the edge of their own 18-yard box. Zach Hemming and Ross Laidlaw haven't had a save to make in this one. A couple of efforts on their goal. Alex Gogic with a header in the first half wide of Ross Laidlaw's left-hand post, and Conor Randall has come close for Ross County in the second half, but both goalies haven't really had anything to do in terms of make a save. Let's hope that changes in the final 25 minutes of this one.
County have had really good chances of the two that's come their way, one hitting the post and obviously Randall putting over the bar. St Mirren have not done enough at all in terms of an attacking sense. That header from Gogic, but that was from a corner. They need to do more. They need to try and work the goalkeeper. I know it's difficult at times, but just be more positive. Get something to get the fans going, get something to get the confidence running through the team that they can go on and win this one, but they haven't shown enough so far, St Mirren.
Well, both managers locked in discussions with their assistant coaches. Don Cowie and Derek Adams in the home dugout, and Dermot O'Carroll and Stephen Robinson in the away dugout, as Robinson beckons for some subs to go and get warmed up. He's crossed arms for the St Mirren manager. May he be thinking about another change. Ayunga has already come on for the Buddies, and he's in possession over on the far side, unable to hold the ball up, and it's forced away and out of play on the far side by Jack Baldwin. Ross County captain taking no chances, firing the ball out of play on the far side. And there's a stoppage as we await for the ball to be returned. More live action coming your way on Sportsound this week. On Thursday, we're with Aberdeen as they travel to HJK Helsinki in the Europa Conference League. Kick-off at 5:45, and then at 8 o'clock, Rangers welcome Aris Limassol of Cyprus as they look to pick a place in the Europa League group stages knockout. First time ball from Dunn all the way up to Greg Kiltie. Conor Randall 25 yards from his goal with a bit of defending to do as it's knocked away and up into the St Mirren half, and Alex Gogic sticks out a right boot. He wanted that one to go out of play near side, but it's gone behind for a corner, and Ross County have their Second corner of the second half.
That's that panic we're talking about though, Ian. Again, it's just booted clear up the channel from Ross County, and he's winning the foot race, don't get me wrong. There's two herring after him, Ross County players, but he should go with his left foot and clear it, but because he goes with his right, he just slashes at it and it goes for the corner.
Well, Scott Allardyce has made his way over to take. No, in fact, it's not Scott Allardyce. In comes the corner from this near side, all the way into the penalty box. Is away by Ayunga. Allardyce now in possession on the far side. Back to James Brown on the halfway line. Takes a touch and plays the ball forward to Ben Purrington. He's crept into the 18-yard box and he's won a corner. It was Ben Purrington who took that last corner, and he's going to retrieve the ball and take another one. 68 on the clock, and Ross County have their third of the second half.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Ayunga, he's planted himself right on the middle of that 6-yard box. A lot of teams do that. It was a brilliant delivery from Purrington, important touch from Ayunga. Ross County are scoring.
Purrington takes aim again all the way towards the back post. Zach Hemming came for it, didn't get it, and it's forced back in by Allardyce, and it's up and over the crossbar. Well, Zach Hemming, he's been pretty dominant when balls are coming into his box, but that's the first time that he's been unable to get anything on it.
Yeah, it's another good delivery again, isn't it, from Purrington? I mean, whipped in with pace, right in amongst all the players in that 6-yard box, and he comes and he doesn't get there, and you're right, he usually chooses to get a fist on it rather than catch it, and understandably so, but missed that one, got a little bit lucky, and Allardyce then popped over the crossbar. Maybe better try to just help it back into the area rather than score.
Leak for County on the far side, the Ross County left, up into the St Mirren half. It's come back into the Ross County half, and the free kick goes the way of the home side. Ayunga not really impressed with the decision as he slowly retreats back into his own half, and Ryan Leak was going to take this one. He might leave it for Jack Baldwin. No, after Usurp, he will now take it. Ryan Leak just a couple of yards or so inside his own half, looking to fire this ball forward into the 18-yard box. It's up on the edge of the box. It's away by O'Hara, and O'Hara gets a second bite at the cherry, and he flicks the ball forward, volleys the ball forward as Ross Laidlaw comes all the way out of his box and shanks the ball out of touch. Here's me thinking it gone over the stand that we're in, the west stand, but it just popped out of the air and managed to stay in play. I don't think the goalkeeper was too impressed with his own clearance, but nonetheless St Mirren have a throw-in right on the halfway line. Charles Dunn is just wrapping the ball round his black and white jersey to take any moisture off it before launching this one forward. The St Mirren bench is a hive of activity, and there will be more subs, or at least one for Stephen Robinson's side. Meantime, Ross County have a throw-in. Derek Adams still perched on the side of his technical area as Baldwin takes aim, met by the head of Dunn. It's away by Fraser, hacked into the air. Jonah Ayunga brings it down on the left boot, but the touch is poor, and Ryan Leak sees the ball back to his goalkeeper, and Laidlaw's clearance eventually taken down by Ben Purrington. It's a daisy cutter from the goalkeeper as Ayunga gets joy on the far side. He's got Leak for company. Sells Leak the dummy, gets the ball into the box, and Randall knocks it behind. He had to be extremely careful. It was an awkward touch from Randall, but Greg Kelty was bearing down on him.
Yeah, it was good, better from St Mirren down that right channel. Now Ayunga holds it up, then suddenly turns and just swings it into the box low, and Kelty's not too far away from it, and Ross County have to rush the clearance and give St Mirren the corner this time.
Yeah, St Mirren have the corner, just in the shadow of the Highland Football Academy. Swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the foul goes against the St Mirren captain, Mark O'Hara, pleading his innocence with Willie Collum. And it looks like a second change of the evening for the visitors. And it will be Alex Grieve who's coming off. Just hasn't really been his night. Alex Grieve, as I mentioned, it's his first start in the Premiership this season, and he's replaced by Stav Namani, who scored for the Israeli under-21s last week in a 3-1 defeat to Kosovo. 1 goal in the Premiership to his name this season. An equaliser at Livy. And he's on for St Mirren with 72 on the clock. Still goalless in Dingwall. Ross County 0, St Mirren 0. As Danda picks up on the far side, fires the ball in with the right boot, and it's cleared behind by O'Hara. And Ross County have a throw-in, quickly taken by the aforementioned Danda. Now Baldwin skipping in field on the edge of the 18 is Ben Purrington. Back out wide to Danda on the left, away by O'Hara. And it's only as far as Ryan Leake, who's wrestling with Navmani to get the ball under control. As Jack Baldwin fires the ball forward, it's a lazy, kind of tired looking ball from the Ross County captain, and St Mirren almost pounce on it, and it's gone behind for a throw into the home side. He got lucky on that occasion, Baldwin.
He did, because Namani just picked up and he's fresh and he wants to try and have a run at the County defence, but just knocked it too far in front of him as County tried to get an edge again by making their substitution here.
Yeah, Jan Danda, his evening is over. 73 minutes on the clock. We've praised him a lot during this one, but he is off, and Kyle Turner is on for Ross County. Formerly on the books of St Mirren as a youngster. 3 goals in Ross County colours since joining from Partick Thistle in the summer.
You surprised at that? I know he'd faded out the game, but there was a couple of crosses we get on the ball there. He's the one that looked as if he could make something happen, even the first early in the half with the ones he got in the right and swung them in the box.
Yeah.
Maybe tiring a little bit, but I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, he was the probably the only player in the Ross County side so far this evening that's got that wee bit of extra, got that something special to unlock a defence. But Danda makes his way into the home dugout, and just in front of the technical area with Derek Adams watching on is Jack Baldwin, who launches the throw into the feet of Simon Murray. Now Allardyce turns away from Keanu Bacchus. Scott Allardyce looking up, unable to pick a pass as James Browden moved in from the right hand side, and Ross County have possession once again through Baldwin into Kyle Turner for his first touch of the evening. Ryan Leake gives him it, and just inside the St Mirren half is Turner out to the far side for Purrington, who's been impressive as well for the home side, but unable on the far side to get any joy. And it goes behind for a St Mirren throw-in. 15 to play. Ross County, it looks like, well at the moment anyway, heading for back-to-back goalless draws for the first time since September 2018. That was back in the Championship days. That was a draw with Queen of the South and Cali Thistle. But at the moment, it's a stalemate here in Dingwall. It was on Saturday, and St Mirren, of course, back-to-back clean sheets, having bounced back from that dismal display against Dundee before the international break. They were 1-0 winners against Livingston at the weekend. And a point on the road. Still a valuable one for the Saints.
I think by the evidence we've seen tonight, I think St Mirren will be the happier of the teams to go away with a point. Now they might still nick it. Here's a chance here, just talking about it.
Keanu Bacchus it was, who was trying to play in Navmani.
But County have had the better chances here, and that's what I'm saying, and they probably deserve to be in front of 2 gilt-edged chances of the match. St Mirren, as I said, haven't done enough, so they'll be happier with the point.
A performance, and I suppose so far anyway, a result very similar to Saturday. Ross County had 2 chopped off the goal line by Kilmarnock, and Derek Adams might have felt his side could have won the game, as Jonah Ayunga picks up and starts to stretch his legs. He's got possession at the touchline deep inside the Ross County half, down this left hand side, rolls it back to Greg Kilty. Kilty takes aim, swings it in towards the back post. McMenamin stuck his head out, not enough conviction from the Northern Irishman, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
It's a good ball by Kilty. I mean, it's an area the goalkeeper can't come, picks up on the left, and it's a long in swinger away to that back area, and McMenamin tried to get in there, but the Ross County defender just did enough. It may have been Purrington just giving him the nudge to see it out for the by kick.
13 minutes left here in Dingwall, plus stoppage time. We wait the first goal of the evening. Is there a late twist in the tail? It's done on the left foot, surges the ball forward. It's gone behind for a throw-in.
Safety first, we'll say. The defences have been on top in terms of doing their jobs properly, but they're no-nonsense attitude. I mean, Dunn, that's about the third one he's put out, straight out the pitch.
Oh, Simon Murray's in behind Alex Goggins here. Heads towards the byline, squares the ball. Ben Purrington is there! And there's a big save from Zach Hemming. Ben Purrington, 12 yards out, pulled the trigger, and Zach Hemming made the save. The flag is up near side. Well, that's another golden opportunity for the Staggies. But Zach Hemming, as I mentioned earlier, has been really impressive for St Mirren this season. And that's a big save right at the end of this one.
Yeah, they've been offside anyway. When you see he was getting, I'm not sure it was. I thought it was a throw-in down, and Goggins missed it. But anyway, doesn't again down the right-hand side. He cut it back, and you're thinking, go Gaping, go on Purrington, put it in the net, give us a goal. And Hemming doesn't know he's offside, but he has to make the save, and it's a brilliant save at that.
Here's a chance for St Mirren as Nafmani gets going down this near side. Bacchus tries to head on to Ayunga, who was perched on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's recovered by Kelty on the far side, who drifts in field now. McMenamin under pressure from Allardyce. Now Tanser's ball to McMenamin, hits off the chest of Brown, but McMenamin keeps the move alive and fires the ball across the face of goal. No takers in black and white, and it's gone behind over on the far side for a throw-in. Well, that was a real good chance. McMenamin drifted in from the right all the way over down to the left-hand side, hit the byline, and it was a great ball. It was a really inviting ball. No takers.
And nobody picks him up, and he gets into that area, and he does well. Do you know what? I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it's a great ball. I think he's overhit it, and he doesn't give his strikers a chance. Sorry, big man, but when he gets it, I'm thinking, just pick somebody out. It's a cutback, a hang up to the back post, but he fizzes it with too much pace, and it goes beyond everybody. No chance for any strikers there for me. Maybe Tomo could clear that one up.
You're putting yourself out of talking yourself out of game there. You Billy Dodds in that penalty box would have put it away. Stephen Thompson would also have put a chance like that away as well. Let's go to Stephen Thompson now, who's in the studio. Stephen, do you see a winner in this one?
Well, if it's going to be anybody for me, it's going to be Ross County. They have had the better opportunities. I know that one was just marginally offside, that last one from Ben Purrington, but the two Randall misses. St Mirren have really struggled all night to do anything creative. I would tend to agree with Billy there that the cross was overhit from McMenamin. He's got options in the box, just pick somebody out.
Thank you, Tomo. Here's a chance for St Mirren. It's McMenamin again, edge of the 18, left footed shot! And Laidlaw got something on it, and it was a vital touch because Jonah Ayunga was waiting to pounce.
Yeah, he's got to touch on it. Laidlaw, I think he's just got to delay until he gets through the bodies, but he throws it at right hand, gets it around the post. Good effort from McMenamin.
There's a change coming for St Mirren, but we'll pause for a moment. In fact, no, we won't. It's a corner, and they'll wait to make the change. Two changes are planned for the visitors. In comes the corner, in swinger all the way towards the back post. Kyle Turner and James Brown dither over who's going to clear it first. Turner gets to it, then sets James Brown down this left-hand side, the far side. He's bumped to the ground, and the first yellow card after 81 minutes is flashed. It's Willie Collum's 65th yellow card of the season, and it goes the way of St Mirren defender Charles Dunn, as there's two changes planned. Ryan Flynn and Keelan Boyd-Munce are about to be introduced into the action. So too is Alex Samuel for the home side, as we're just awaiting the confirmation from the fourth official. Willie Collum is holding things up meantime. It's not a day to be hanging about, but the three subs are waiting in. Fourth official's got the board up, and it will be Greg Kilty who is coming off for Ryan Flynn. And Keanu Bacchus is also heading off as he jogs away over on the far side. Boyd-Munce is on. Recently been involved in Michael O'Neill's Northern Irish squads. Simon Murray, his evening is over also, as he applauds the Ross County supporters. and jogs off to be replaced by Alex Samuel. It's a different kind of striker, but one thing about Alex Samuel, he causes chaos for visiting teams, and that's certainly something Derek Adams will want in the final 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, just got some work ethic. The wee guy just puts himself about, chases everything, doesn't give defenders a minute's peace, and it might just be something like that gets beyond that St Mirren defence and gets the winner.
Jack Baldwin on halfway with the free kick. Floated to the edge of the box. Jordan White is there. Purrington tries to bring it down. He's shown too much and it's cleared out of play on the far side. Is it a final twist in the tail? We've got 7 minutes left as Keanu Bacchus eventually makes his way, having jogged off on the far side into the dugout. Here come Ross County with Purrington. Tries to get the ball into the box. St Mirren standing up. Purrington tries again. Finds Turner, who tries to dance away beyond Alex Gogic. Back to Purrington. And the deflection is off a St Mirren player, and it's behind for a corner. Derek Adams jogs over. He wants a word with Jack Baldwin at the edge of the box. But this is a real opportunity. We saw how Purrington caused panic in the St Mirren rearguard last time. It's James Brown with the right boot over on the far side, just in front of the toilet block at the jail end, as he takes aim in towards the 6-yard box, and it's gone in, and it's Jordan White who gets it, and Ross County with 6 minutes left on the clock eventually get their noses in front, and it was Jordan White with the head from James Brown's corner. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0.
Well, eventually get the breakthrough, and you know, it's all about the delivery for me. Brown with that in-swinger, with pace, with power. All it needed was somebody to get their head on it, and it's White there. Striker's instinct just lets it come off his head from about 3 yards. And you know what, it's no more, as Stephen Thompson said, than Ross County have deserved tonight. They've created the best chances, and eventually they get that breakthrough.
Jordan White with the goal, his 5th goal of the season, and Ross County with just over 5 minutes left in this one eventually find the back of the net. We talked about the danger from set pieces that they started to create for St Mirren, and Jordan White taking full advantage. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0 on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra, online and on BBC Sound. St Mirren, if they to get anything from Dingwall, have got a lot of work to do in the remaining 5 or so minutes plus stoppage time. Well, Stephen Robinson has certainly rung the changes in an attempt to get something, and they're going to have to work a wee bit of magic to get anything from this one. Ross County with their noses in front, and now, Billy, it's a different kind of challenge for Ross County. They've got to try and see this game out, or indeed add to their tally, which is something they haven't done an awful lot this season.
Yeah, they don't have to add any more. They can just see it out, and that means just doing what they've done so far in the game. Take no chances, defend. St Mirren have hardly created anything, so just no slip-ups. That's what Derek Adams will be saying to his back three. Just nice and safe. Just do what we've been doing. Any chances, just get it in the channels. Let our strikers, especially, he's talked about Alex Samuel, who's just come on, go and give it a chase.
Turner flicks it out down the Ross County left for Alex Samuel, who's stopped in his tracks, and St Mirren eventually get the ball clear, and there's a bit of afters for Willie Collum to sort out. Not happy with Alex Samuel, and St Mirren have a free kick, and they're in a hurry to get going here.
St Mirren have to change now. They have to just get players up the pitch and just have a go. I mean, they have not played well, but we talked about it during the second half, that they were probably taking a point. Now that looks as if it's gone, so they're going to have to push players forward, take a chance.
Well, they have a free kick, and it's a long one from Zach Hemming, beaten by the head of Jordan White, who was up higher than Ben Wivis to head home, as Alex Gogic gets his head on it. Allardyce flicks it on. Fraser will clear out to the far side for McMenamin, but it's Allardyce who wins it back. Now Kyle Turner gets going down the left. He's done well, Kyle Turner, shadowed by Fraser, and he's got help as well, but eventually the foul goes against Turner. And St Mirren have the free kick. Fraser fouled. Just over 2.5 minutes to go here in Dingwall. And it's the home side who are heading towards only their second home victory of the season. Ross County have fared better on their travels so far this season. Only one win over St Johnstone to shout about. They had a 1-1 draw with Livingston as St Mirren have possession. It's fired in towards the back post from the right-hand side. Boyd Munce gets the ball in from the left-hand side, and it's Jack Baldwin with a heroic header away. St Mirren in possession once again. Shot from Ayunga, and it trickles wide and ruffles the side netting of Ross Laidlaw, who was down just to make sure that it did indeed go behind.
I couldn't see the goalkeeper's bodies in front of him, then you saw the net ripple and you had a little moment there, but it was always in control. Laidlaw, he's dragged the shot, Ayunga, and he's just letting it go past the post and into the side net. It was you were right to say heroic header. I mean, it's a really good ball into probably just between 6 yard and penalty spot, and it's begging for somebody to get a diving header on it if you're a forward thinking player. But Baldwin, brilliant, just put his body in the line and got it clear.
Done with a defensive clearance which almost set Ayunga off and running as the skipper Mark O'Hara plays the ball back to his goalkeeper Hemming. Hemming takes a touch under pressure from Alex Samuel and fires the ball forward. Ayunga will give chase over on the far side. He's beaten to it by Purrington. He's been impressive today, Ben Purrington. He's also played under Derek Adams at Plymouth. Heads on once again on the far side. St Mirren with a bit of defending to do, and eventually Mark O'Hara gets his foot on the ball midway through his own half. Now Dunn, now Tanser. Bit of urgency required as we enter the final 30 seconds or so of normal time. Now Fraser on the far side. Early cross in by Flynn, and it's sliced away by Jack Baldwin. O'Hara tries to bring it down. He might have shown too much to Alex Samuel, who's just inside the St Mirren half, and with the help of Purrington sends the ball forward for Jordan White. He'll give chase with Alex Gogic, knocked forward by Hemming, and St Mirren have a throw on the far side as the fourth official just makes his way out to inform us we've got a minimum of 4 minutes additional time. Dunn looks up, left-footed ball towards the edge of the Ross County penalty box, looking for Ayunga, who's unable to hold it up, and it's played away to safety and all the way back to his goalkeeper. Ross County starting to put the bodies behind the ball as they try to edge out this one and earn all 3 points. O'Hara out to Flynn on the far side. Now Fraser steps inside the Ross County half and fires the ball down the right-hand side. Ayunga's kept her in play and he takes on Purrington, eventually works his way into the box. Boyd Munce will have a go. It's back to Ayunga. No way through for Charles Dunn as Ross County now have everyone behind the box, but St Mirren have possession with Marcus Fraser on the far side. Fires in the cross, Ayunga gets his head on it, and there was a foul on Jack Baldwin, much to the relief of the Ross County fans, and they have a free kick. We've played a minute of a minimum of 4, and they lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, it was really good play from Marcus Fraser. He read the pass, he intercepted it, he bust down the right, and for me he hung up a good ball. Just not enough St Mirren players in the box, and there was a shove anyway from Ayunga. Baldwin hits the deck and Ross County get it to safety, and just try to see this out, take their time with the free kick from Laidlaw.
Well, both managers, as you would imagine, out pointing out instructions, trying to see their troops through this last couple of minutes for Ross County to hold out for a win as Alex Samuel gets in behind Alex Gogic. A real chance on here. He goes to ground. Alex Gogic looked clumsy in the foul. Alex Samuel is stayed down and thumps the ground in frustration. Not too sure if it's against the decision or the injury. But play on, says Willie Collum, and play has raged on as St Mirren break down the left-hand side, and eventually it is stopped now, and a yellow card is flashed in the direction.
I think it's Ryan Flint. I
think he's going for a dive, isn't he?
Do you know what? He went into a challenge. For me, it's not even a free kick. he's won the ball and he's won it cleanly. Yeah, he's gone there with a bit of pace and determination, but he's always winning the ball. Ryan Flynn knocks it into the ground. His momentum takes him into the Ross County player. Willie Collum's given the free kick and booked him. I don't think it was either. The penalty, I thought, oh, you're in trouble, Gogic. He's got inside you, but right at the end, I thought Gogic maybe just was in front of Alex Samuel, and Alex Samuel just, he felt the contact, goes to ground, wanted the penalty, he's not getting it.
Alex Samuel back up on his feet as he jogs his way into position. Ross County have the free kick over on the far side, midway through their own half. Jack Baldwin takes, right-footed, all the way down the left flank for Ben Purrington. Alex Samuel is there, bouncing up and down, trying to win the ball. It's O'Hara wins it back for St Mirren. Tanser, plenty of room down this left-hand side for Tanser to operate into. Tanser tries to find Mahmani, blocked by Brown. Now St Mirren have again on the far side as McMenamin tries to tee up the shot. Dances his way into the box, takes a ricochet of Baldwin and goes behind for a throw-in, and the St Mirren fans on the far side grab on the ball and give it to one of their players as Fraser tries to get the cross in. It's in all the way towards the penalty box and it's away by Baldwin. County standing firm. Here's Boyd Munce, lofted ball in towards the 6-yard box, away by Baldwin. County standing firm for the time being. And again by Dunn, and this time it's Baldwin who slices the ball clear. Charles Dunn has possession, midway through his own half, but there is the full-time whistle from referee Willie Collum, and the cheers erupt around us in the main stand and indeed across and around the Global Energy Stadium, because Ross County hold on for a first win under Derek Adams and his third tenure as manager. It was a win they probably deserved. In the first half there was a real shortage of action. Alex Gogic went close for St Mirren, but inside the second half they had chances through Ben Purrington and Conor Randall before Jordan White headed in the winner 5 minutes before the end. James Brown with the corner and Jordan White up highest to head beyond Zach Hammond. Ross County with all 3 points here in Dingwall. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0.
On digital radio.